I'm anxiety. Where can I put my stuff?
A new emotion.
Oh, I'm sorry. We wanted to make such a good first impression.
What do you mean we?
Inside Out 2. So finally, after 9 years since the first movie released, joy and other emotions from Riley's head are now finally back for another for a sequel. And honestly, when it comes to the first movie, I've got to say that it was great with a nice story and beautiful animation and really charming characters making the experience enjoyable and a great message in a lot of emotional moments. In fact, dare I say that this was probably some of the best Pixar movies to come out of the 2010s. And when it comes to the sequel, I've got to say that I am really excited for it. I mean, it's been a long time since it's been a Pixar sequel, and it's very similar to why they'd be back making sequels again, especially because of the fact that it's been almost 5 years since they released Toy Story 4, and that most of their other original films have either been flapping or even going straight to Disney Plus. It's very understandable as to why they did it. So now that the emotions are back for a sequel, will this get me every emotion out of me? Or will this movie make me feel nothing? Well, let's find out. And also spoilers for everyone who hasn't seen this movie. So now let's talk about the story. So apparently, the most popular concept for a sequel to Inside Out is that if there will be more emotions, and if Riley is a teenager, and even some people just made fan-made trailers of the film with making fun of how it would be. And honestly, when I watched the film, it's literally what fans have expected. So in this one, Riley is officially a teenager, and becomes more complicated that it causes to create other new emotions such as anxiety, embarrassment, envy, or boredom, envy, and nostalgia. However, suddenly, one of the new emotions, anxiety, decided to make a plan to battle to battle up, to see this. Yes, Joy said it best. Battle up all the emotions.
You can't just bottle us up!
We are suppressed emotions!
And because all the emotions have no longer one in the headquarters, Joy and the other world emotions must go on an adventure to go back to the headquarters and stop and hide it from them again, Wiley. So when it comes to the story, I wouldn't say that it's terrible. There is something about the story that feels like it's repeating the first movie. Because if you watch both the first movie and the second movie, you'll understand that it's similar. I mean, the first movie is just what if I only experienced disgust, fear, and anger, while second movie is like what if I experienced some new emotions. And because of this, it can make the figure sometimes predictable that I literally predicted the ending. Since the first movie barely had an antagonist. But if I had to give a credit for which that despite being a downgrade from the first movie, the one thing that causes this story to not shock is that the emotional moments can be actually emotional instead of just making me feel nothing. And also the message of the movie is actually really heartwarming. And some of the comedy can actually be quite funny. So even though the story is definitely not great, at least it's not awful. So now let's talk about the animation. And apparently what is possibly one of the best things about the first movie is of course the creative animation, where it has places that look actually appealing and cartoony designs that are not that have actually quite smooth. But with this one, there is something that feels different. It's not different like Push and Push the left switch where everything is mostly different. It's just the colors. When it comes to the first movie, I wouldn't call the colors dull or lifeless. In fact, they are still colorful. I wouldn't say that they look like candy. Color. But with this one, the color scheme is a lot more saturated and nicer, making it it quite enjoyable to watch. And the character animation is expressive and actually pretty appealing to watch. And the designs are mostly cartoony, but not too over the top. And the world building actually looks quite creative. And the fact is, most of the humans in the world are realistic actually works for this movie. And what's even more unique than the colors is the new characters designs of the other characters. Because they are a lot more unique. Because there are two characters that look a lot more different. Like Len/Bit is a video game style looking character in the feminine of games like Zelda and Kingdom Hearts and Super Smash Bros. While Luffy has a more 2D cartoony design reminiscent of cartoons like Dora the Explorer. And also is so and it makes it look quite entertaining to watch as if this is a really nice looking film.
What is that? It's the sarcasm!
Sarcasm?
And what is also different about the animation is the character designs of the new emotions. Anxiety looks the most surreal. And we looks most like a big actor character. And we has a more cute of look. And embarrassment has a more nervous look. And even nostalgia has a more nostalgic style that looks mostly like a grandma. And because of all the creativity, it makes the animation pretty impressive and maybe even enough weight over the first movie. So now let's talk about the characters. And the characters in this film are a little more complicated since I don't know what character to put in here. So now let's just start with who is the motion joy? Who is this mostly happy character that's mostly positive and happy 24/7, making her a fun character. Then there's sadness which it is mostly a sad shit character, but because he's not in the movie that much, it just makes her one of the least great characters. And then there's discussed, which were mostly disgusted character who always protects Riley from being disgusted. Fear is the most afraid of the punch and the most comical. Anger, and then there's Anger, who's the most angry and aggressive to the group, and we cannot talk about Thougth without mentioning the new emotions and Riley herself. And then there's Riley, if I had to include her as a character that's more complicated, character that has to make, that is bit attracted to her new friends, and it's because of anxiety. Speaking of anxiety, there's anxiety for Riley. She isn't really the villain of the movie. She's mostly, I feel like, antagonist that wants Riley to only feel the new emotions. However, she suddenly becomes good at the end and learns that Riley needs to have the old emotions, which makes her a more unique character. And then there's Henry, who's my opinion, the weakest character, because it's mostly just bored and rarely does anything to the main story. And then there's Embarrassment, who is mostly a quiet character. And then there's Henry, who's the mostly attracted one. And also, how come I not mention Nostalgia? Look, I know that she is barely in the movie, but how come we not mention a new emotion?
Remember when we all finally came up to headquarters?
Nostalgia.
That was like 30 seconds ago, Nostalgia.
Yeah, those were the days.
So when it comes to most older characters, well, not all of them have making effect. Some of them can be generic. Most of the characters can be considered quite enjoyable. So apparently Pixar has been quite hit and miss nowadays, while with the movies it being great of mostly just decent. When it comes to Inside Out 2, however, while I definitely do not think that this is better than the first movie, it actually gave me some good emotions. Inside Out 2 is actually a pretty emotional and good movie that while it has a sometimes predictable story have be ascending, and the fact that it's way too similar to the first movie, it makes all the problems forgiving with its beautiful animation, likable characters, emotional moments, and some funny humor. So this, anyways, if you were a fan of the first Inside Out movie, and you've been waiting for a sequel, then this is a movie for you, and you should definitely watch it in theaters. And that's why I'm saying that this movie was really good and gets an 8 out of 10. With Pixar actually made something better than Inside Out 2, then I will feel a lot of joy.